Hello, everyone. So, one of the things that is interesting to me is everybody has their favorite social media platform. If you're watching me right now, you're on one, right? So, let's admit it, everybody has their favorite. For you, that might be YouTube, that might be X, that might be LinkedIn, it might be Facebook, it might be Instagram. Who knows? That's a personal choice, up to you. The interesting thing about the different platforms is they all kind of operate a little bit differently. They don't necessarily always operate the way you want them to, but they also don't necessarily operate. If you know what to expect, you can find success. So let's take a little bit of a look at what I'm talking about here. So each platform is different. Each platform is unique, and which ones do I find success on? Well, the point is you can find success on any of them. So Facebook and Instagram, the first two on that list, are the big boys when it comes to Meta's portfolio. So these are the ones where you've got more than a billion worldwide users, depending on the numbers you believe, might be somewhere between a billion and 1.6 billion active users monthly. Numbers might be a little bit lower than that, but there's a ton of people on those two platforms. Facebook tends to skew a little bit older. Instagram tends to skew sort of in the millennial age range, maybe a little bit down. Then you flip over to X. X tends to sit in sort of the 30 to 50-year-old age range. It skews largely male. It's sort of 60 to 70% male, depending on which numbers you believe. So if you want to reach a male audience, that's the place. LinkedIn, a little bit more of a professional site for exchange of business information. You can find consultants all over there. You could talk about a coaching service. If you're an author looking to be a ghost author, that's the place for you. YouTube is a video sharing site. You probably watch stuff on it at home. My kids watch it all the time. Their favorite YouTuber ranges depending on the year. For a long time, it was one group, and then it turned out to be Dude Perfect, and then it turned into Mr. Beast. So it just depends on your particular taste over there. Pinterest is a much different one than the other ones. They have these little things called boards and whatnot. And if you're trying to reach and talk to and speak to women about their interests, Pinterest is the place to do it. I want to urge everybody, it is not a dating site. None of these are dating sites. It's like Facebook and others do have a section for that. But I'm talking about the part of it where you're trying to just talk to people with similar interests to yours. TikTok is a video sharing site. Still not sure that one's going to survive. There's still some work for them to do to kind of make the cutoff. I think they're in a much better place than they were, but they are for sharing sort of shorter videos. Threads is the meta answer to X, so it's sort of a timeline like X is. And Snapchat is unique. It's a little bit different. Snapchat is for sharing things that are going to disappear in a period of time. So you could post something, it'll wipe itself out in a day or a week or however long. Now, if you want to, so part of the purpose to being on social media is, of course, to be social. And if you're like me, you want to find people with similar interests so you can have a conversation. Sometimes that turns into an argument, but sometimes it's a conversation. And I have met some amazing people on social media. I've connected with old friends. I'm Gen X. I was born in '72, graduated high school, went to high school in the '80s, and lost track of some friends over the years. Then when Facebook became huge, I got the chance to reconnect with some of them. So it does give you that opportunity. Instagram has people all over the globe you can connect with on different topics, and it's great for that sort of stuff. Same with X and LinkedIn and all the others. So, depending on your platform, you can reach a different audience. So, knowing where that audience is important. Knowing how to post things is important. Being able to stay active on all of them becomes kind of problematic. Because you got to go to like 93 different dashboards, right? You got to go to Facebook and Instagram and X, and you got to bounce around and try to find your right audience. There is a tool that I've built over the years called One for All Social that lets you post anything you want to all of those different platforms. This is my company right here, and it works very well for that. So now the algorithms at the different platforms are also sort of something that people will either be mad at or happy about, whatever your case is. The thing with the algorithms you need to understand is that the purpose of those algorithms is to keep you on that site as long as you can, not to like force you to stay there. That's not what I'm talking about. What it wants to do is it wants to show you things that you like so that you'll interact with them so that you won't leave and go to a different website. So the algorithm is what you make of it. It also may be, the results of some paid advertising, but in general, it's going to be what you make of it. So it's going to show things that you have interacted with. If you don't like what it's showing you, interact with different stuff, and it'll start to show you different things. And that's Facebook's algorithm. It's not the most sensitive in the world. In fact, it's probably one of the least sensitive ones, but it's not bad. Now let's go over to Threads. Let's take a look at that one. Threads is the meta answer for X, and yes, I'm remembering finally to call it X instead of Twitter. It has an amazingly sensitive algorithm. So if you dare to interact with something or talk about something, it will start to show up on your feed very quickly. So I've been talking about basketball a little bit and sure enough, basketball showing up. A couple of months ago, 6 months ago, I mentioned something about a bad date. I'm not married, so seeing somebody now. But when it was a bad date, I complained about it. I'm still seeing dating horror stories show up in my feed. So it is a very sensitive algorithm over here. If you want to see more of something, one of the tips I can give you for either this or X, this works all over the place. If you really want to try it, is to go on and just say, hey, algorithm, bring me people interested reading science fiction books. Those are my kind of people. And sure enough, it'll start to show you stuff that involves science fiction books, or some people will come along and start to, comment on it and whatnot. And that'll help you find those. So, the algorithm is pretty darn sensitive to that sort of stuff. So, and what you post is also going to make a difference on what you see. So I post a lot of books, and sure enough, it's going to show me a lot of things that involve reading and books and stuff that I'm posting about. It is a much more sensitive algorithm than the other ones. YouTube the same way. It's going to show you what you watch. It's going to try to find more of that stuff for you. Facebook we've already covered. X is an interesting one because X, their algorithm changes a lot. So trying to keep up with what it does is always fun. Now, if you're like me and you have multiple accounts, or like me, and I've written books and I wanted to try to market books, but more importantly, I wanted to reach out and talk to people who read and talk to people who write and sort of interact with that group. And as a result of my activities on social media, I've had a chance to talk to some incredibly famous authors, and some of them have actually sent me offered to let me send them a copy of one of their books, and they'll send me back the same book, the book autographed. So I've actually had those interactions with folks. I've had people send me book plates to put in the book, and it's fantastic that kind of stuff goes on. I've had well-known authors answer questions for me that I had about their work. I've had the chance to talk to people who built some of the video games I grew up playing. I've talked to some of the guys who created Doom. I've talked to other stuff, and it was all because of connections I made on social media. So it does have its power. But where is everybody hiding, right? Is it on X? Is it on Facebook? Is it wherever? So we built this system out that kind of lets you go off and say, hey, look, I'm going to go send something all over the place. And just say, so right now, if I go and type something in down here, I can send that same post to all 4 of those places simultaneously, or I can schedule it off in the future, or whatever it is I choose to do. The system actually works really well for that sort of stuff. It also gives you analytics to let you see how your different platforms are actually performing. How are you doing over on Instagram, for instance? I'm growing my followers. I'm not doing very well in impressions right now because I haven't posted very much to that particular Instagram account, but it is growing at least, so that's good. Now let's go look at YouTube for the sake of it. Where is YouTube? There it is. My YouTube account has actually done pretty well. My views are up, my comments are up, my likes are up, my dislikes are up, but you can't make everybody happy. That's just the way it works. My my views are pretty solid. Let's go look at my growth. So I've got this nice change in subscribers thing that chart down here at the bottom that shows you how many you grow, how many you shrink. So the top line is, the dark line is how many you gained that day. The bottom line is how many you lost. So yeah, I lose some every day, but I gain some every day. So it works out pretty well. It will also give you insights on the best day for you to post, where do you get the best performance, all that kind of stuff. So that's our system. You can actually schedule posts out in the future. So if you follow me anywhere and you see my book posts coming out with shocking regularity every afternoon, it's because I have them pre-scheduled. But I have them pre-scheduled to go out on 4 different platforms, right? So I have them pre-scheduled to go out on X and Threads and Facebook and Instagram all at the same time, so that I don't have to really do it, right? I can come back and just post it one time. And if you want to go in and see what you're posting, it pulls up a preview of it, all that kind of fun stuff. That's the system I've spent the last 3 years putting together. 60 days are free. You do not have to enter a credit card during the trial period. It's One For All Social. You can go to oneforallsocial.com or o4a.com, get you the same place. We are going to be adding a feature that when you're creating a post, if you upload an image, which I strongly suggest on any social media post, you have some kind of image, it will analyze that image to figure out what hashtags you should use. So hashtags are the key to growth on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. X is now downgrading hashtags because Elon Musk thinks they're ugly. But that is my day job, is making sure that system stays up and running. By the way, it's available on iOS and Android. Check it out in the game stores. Check it out in the App Store or the Google Play Store. Totally up to you. It is a great system. I'm very proud of it. So I think 3 years worth of work, 4 years worth of work now has gone into that. So great overall system. If you have any questions, just drop me a line on whatever platform you see me, and I'll talk to you soon.